We have a representative from SSI here that probably could answer those questions a little better. Larry, if you would like to come up, this is Larry from SSI.
So if the sheriff's department adds 4 more cars, then it's gonna be 132 times 4
Correct.
annually.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, we have four new students.
4 new ones. She
If
said
you add
we added 4.
In answer to your question,
Yes.
yes, the upgrades are included in the annual maintenance.
And plus SSI is out of, they're headquartered in Villa Rica
Yes, sir.
and have a lot of Georgia presence.
Yes, sir. We actually have the single largest market share in Georgia of any of our competitors.
Just a 1-year maintenance, 1-year warranty is in the base cost.
Yes, it's included in the base cost.
Correct.
Talk about the map cleanup and the GIS component.
They're gonna clean up the map, as we talked about initially in the needs assessment, the map it needs a lot of work. It's, the center lines aren't correct and cross streets are not correct, and it could actually be a liability for you guys. So they're going to clean up the map, and that cost is included in there, in the actual $88,500. If you want to go into a little bit more detail about that.
Basically, what that means is there's basically a database behind that map of cross streets, so on and so forth, single addresses, business addresses, range of addresses, all of those things. And if that database is not accurate, we can go through and clean that up and make changes. Maybe some of the information maybe 10 years old. We can go in and make sure by working with you guys, with your county, to make sure that data is still accurate, hasn't changed, and clean up all that data in the database, is basically what we would be doing there.
So what about when new subdivisions are added? Will our employees be able to add that?
Yes. We can also do it, but yes, we would give your employees the ability. No,
Oh, okay.
no, that's part of
You might
that's
wanna do
part
it.
of the maintenance contract.
Okay.
I suppose if you said, hey, we want to revamp the entire county, we're changing everything, we'd probably charge you a fee for that. But for additions, changes, that's usually part of the maintenance contract.
So when you leave us and it's all implemented, then it's incumbent upon the county to keep that fresh and updated
Yes.
with all new, with new roads, new subdivisions,
Yes.
and add layers as we see fit
Yes, sir.
to make it a true GIS system.
Yes,
For now, we want it other purposes.
correct. We, of course, would be willing to work with you, but
But you're going to leave us
it
with,
would ultimately be your responsibility to keep that updated once we have it cleaned up to your satisfaction.
so you'll be leaving us after the project's finished with a base, something, a very basic product.
I don't know that I would necessarily say very basic. It depends on what level of detail you have now, to be honest with you. If the level of detail you have now is somewhat minimal, then that's what we have to work with, and you'll have to build upon that. If there's a lot of detail there already, we're going to use what you have and make sure that it's cleaned up in a way that's usable for you guys. So it really depends on what you have. I don't do the GIS stuff, so I can't say, but I mean, that's what it boils down to. Depends on what you give us.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion that we purchase the recommended system, CAD system from SSI as detailed in our proposal.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Motion carries unanimously.
That includes authorization to negotiate the contract.
Correct. All right, thank you, folks.
Yeah, we'll give you,
Thank you all very much.
Appreciate your time.
much.
All right, next, Randy, the prison security system cameras.
Mr. Chairman, Board of Commissioners, looking at the cameras, looking at the prison in general, as I came on board, along with Ward Nelson, we have discovered that the interior and exterior cameras, there's 43 of them, about 37% of the cameras are not working currently and have not been working for some time. So basically, we checked into the camera system, and we found out it's an old analog system that needs to be updated and completely replaced with a more modern IP-based digital camera system. So we went out for a bid to have someone design a new system, and once the system is designed, then we would bid that out for a competitive installation. So on the deadline date of August 14th, the county did receive 5 responses. The low bid of Rosser, and they are a jail architectural firm, and they bid $17,531. And that is to design the system, prepare construction documents, help us with bidding, evaluate specs, that sort of thing, and perform construction administration while it's being installed to make sure the installer we choose, based on the competitive bid, is doing their job and not putting it forward. And you can see the other ones, it goes up from there. Tanner Hoskins was $25,000, Elbert and Associates, $25,200, Latta Technical Services, $35,600, J&A, $41,160. So staff recommends the board award the bid to Rosser for a price not to exceed $17,531. The design and construction document phase should take about 4 weeks. The bidding phase should take about 3 weeks. And once a successful installer is selected through a competitive process, the installation phase should take about 8 weeks. So we should be finished by the end of December 2017 if everything goes well. Funds for this project is the budget in the prison budget at $100,000. We budget $10,000 for the design, $90,000 for the installation. So I'm hoping the install comes in less to make the $100,000 a good number, but we'll see.
Miracles do happen.
Miracles do happen in the prison system. So basically, we talked to Larry Latimer with Rosser. He prepared an AIA contract. The attorney reviewed it, made some changes. Larry sent it back, and for once, the attorney is happy with it.
An AIA contract, no, he agreed, they agreed to all the changes that we requested to be made in the contract. Mainly, which were, most of them dealing with arbitration and venue and that type of thing.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion that the system, we accept the proposal from Rosser International for the design of the security system.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All right, second, discussion.
Yes. There's a large variation in these bids. I mean, one's almost 2.5 times what the cheapest one is. Can you tell us why?
Well, some of it's part of travel, for them going back and forth for the meetings and stuff, they had included their travel into that. With Rosser, they gave us a lower bid of travel due to them coming from Atlanta. So they're familiar with doing some visits and stuff, and don't have any extra costs that some of the people have, including like per diems and stuff like that.
There still doesn't seem to be anywhere, you know, just when you see that much variation, you wonder.
Gee, Jim, there's only $24,000 between them and J&A, which is Marietta. It's worth more than $24,000. Travel from Marietta through.
Have you worked with Rosser before?
Yes, I have.
So you're confident that their bid is one that they can
Yes.
follow through with and give us what we need?
Basically, They designed 7 prisons for the Georgia Department of Corrections, and they have recently worked with the Georgia Diagnostic Classification Prison in Jackson, where they redesigned their diagnostic process, and they should be completed with that next year. So I'm very keen.
Okay.
It's reassuring.
That is.
That is. Any other questions? All right, all in favor, signify by raising your hand. Motion carries. All right, next is,
Thank you.
Ms. Ma'am, I know you're looking forward to getting that done.
Yes, I am.
Make things a lot safer out there. Next is, proposal for the wing wall at the Harrisville compactor site.
Mr. Chairman, Board of Commissioners, this is a solid waste project for the Harrisville compactor site. We have a wing wall right now separating the vehicular traffic area from the trash area. It's not in really good shape. It has some photographs to show that it is leaning. We're contemplating on removing that and putting a wall back. We went out for a competitive bid. The only person to bid was a company called,
Concrete contractors.
yes, those folks for $28,873. So basically, this was not budgeted. It will be a budget amendment from the solid waste budget for $28,873, and it should be finished relatively soon.
Just so you know, we did get a rough estimate from somebody before we went out, and their rough estimate was $44,000. It wasn't the same company.
Okay.
So that's the miracle of competitive bidding.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion that we accept.
Motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Motion carried. I'm sorry, you, Mr. Two?
Yeah.
All right, good. Motion carries unanimously. Next is also solid waste. Bid on the cab and chassis for, I believe, 2
Yes.
new garbage trucks.
Mr. Chairman, Board of Commissioners, this was a bid for 2 garbage trucks. These were put in the budget. And at the end of the bidding cycle, we did receive 4 bids. We're recommending Performance Peterbilt. They met all the specs at $360,288 for both vehicles. And $380,000 was budgeted in the solid waste fund. So we are below budget on this. Again, it's 2018 Peterbilt, garbage truck, body, delivery is in 6 months. These are pretty much custom made. They met all specs, so staff recommends approval. And this will replace 2 older garbage trucks. That when the new garbage trucks come in 6 months, then we'll have the board declare surplus 2 older ones and sell them. And make $1 or $2.
Okay.
This is the same company that we dealt with before, right?
Yes.
You're pleased with the company and their performance?
All right, I have a motion.
I'll make the motion that we accept the bid of Performance Peterbilt of Albany, as outlined for $360,288.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion, questions? All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Motion carries. And that does come out of solid waste.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next is project updates.
Mr. Chairman, Board of Commissioners, quickly going through the updates. Number 1, the county did go through an advertising process to hire a full-time IT manager. That has been completed, and Alex Santiago started September the 1st. And he is in the back row in the black shirt.
Welcome aboard.
He's been with us for 3 or 4 years as a consultant. So he knows the county's IT network and infrastructure forward and backwards. And so we thought that would be a good fit. And everybody is pleased to have him in the courthouse and all the other facilities to help. He will help everybody with all their IT needs. And he's already busy.
It's all hours now.
I'm sure.
8 to 5, Monday through Friday, except for 911, 2 in the morning, get called out. But thank God he's salary.
All right. Thank you, sir.
We welcome
Good to have
Alex
you
to the
here.
county. Number 5 is the software package for the general fund and accounting system. The bid opening was September the 1st. We did receive 6 bids, and they are being evaluated right now. Number 7, the camera systems replacement of the camera system at the prison. Again, the board has approved the design of that. It will be designed and bid out very soon. Number 8, the board heard from TUSA, Alan Kuntz, about the countywide public safety radio system. So that project is going on also. Number 9, the board also heard about the CAD system, and the low bid was approved, and we are proceeding with that project. Number 13, the fire trucks and the brush trucks. They're going to be delivered in October through December, so we're anxiously awaiting those new fire trucks for all of the county fire stations. Number 20, Hardage Road is proceeding on. The Robinson Paving is doing a good job out there by keeping the project going. So far it's on time, on budget, and the county's waterworks department will be installing the water line beginning sometime this week. So that project is going very, very well. Number 23, the Standing Ward Creek Fortson Road Bridge replacement. That's on the agenda later tonight. GDOT has increased their amount. They will charge the county for acquiring the needed right-of-way for the bridge replacement project from $179,000, which was budgeted from T-SPLOST, to $188,000. So at least the DOT is working on that project.
Do you know the reason for that increase?
They just said it's just going to cost more. And we approved a contract back in May. Now they sent us a new contract for the higher amount. It's just going to cost more, they said.
There's a breakdown of the cost. Yeah.
But at least they're working on it. That's the good news. Number 34, the avgas truck came in a couple days ago and is being used right now. Number 37 was approved to purchase 2 replacement garbage trucks. This should be here in 6 months, more or less. Number 42, the library construction. It is going extremely fast. We have already spent the state's $2 million. And we are getting the final reimbursement probably in the next week or 2. So we have already spent the $2 million from the state. Now we have turned our attention to SPLOST 09. We've probably used a third of the SPLOST 09 funds. And then after that, we'll turn our attention to the 14. And after that, we'll probably November, December, we'll turn our attention to the donations. So that project is going very fast, and it should be finished at the beginning of the year. Number 49 is a very interesting project, SPLOST 2019 continuation program. The board did discuss this at several retreats to drill down to the various projects, funding formulas, timeframes, and that sort of thing. And the letters went out today to each of the cities to have a meeting on the next meeting, September 19th at 5 o'clock.
That's what we're having.
That's what I did. I forgot what it was. There it is. So September 19th, the next meeting at 5 o'clock, all the cities and their representatives will be in this room to begin the initial discussion of the SPLOST continuation plan, our projects, their projects, cost estimates, distribution formulas, timeframes, and then eventually John Taylor will prepare an intergovernmental agreement for everyone to sign. So right now we are on schedule. Number 4, that's 49. And number 50, the fee schedules. Again, that was discussed today at great length. The only fee schedule remaining is community development. And we can talk about that at the next meeting or at a subsequent meeting. Subsequent meeting. And then the July SPLOST check did come in at $243,750, which is an increase from last year and an increase from last month. So that is good news. The lost collection money came in at $178,428. Again, it's more than last year and more than last month. And that's it in a nutshell of what's happening in the county. The staff is concerned about Hurricane Irma. We are focusing on that natural event. And the National Weather Service, along with GEMA, are beginning tomorrow at noon to give presentations. And so Monty and I will be involved in that every day at noon to track that storm and see where it goes. And we are preparing for the worst and hoping for the best.
All right, thanks, sir. Anything else, Randy?
That's it.
All right, Mr. Taylor. First one is Steel Creek.
Yes, sir. Before you is a resolution to accept the right-of-way for Boxwood Lane and Boxwood Court. According to your road acceptance ordinance, you require a surety bond, a commitment for title insurance, and a right-of-way deed in fee simple, which means absolute ownership to you, conveying that the property. I've looked at the documents that have been submitted, and these documents comply with your road acceptance ordinance. There's a right-of-way deed in fee simple there that has been executed, and if you adopt this resolution, you will accept the delivery of that deed to you, which is one of the requirements under Georgia law to make a transaction legal. And then this second, there's the surety bond is appropriately posted, and also there's a commitment for owner's title insurance, which will there will be once the deed is recorded, there will be an owner's policy presented to you, ensuring the title that you have fee simple title deposit to the property. And I would recommend that you adopt this resolution to accept the Boxwood Lane and Boxwood Court in Section 4 of Steel Creek subdivision as public roads.
All right, thank you, Mr. Taylor. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept Boxwood Lane and Boxwood Court as a road or scan.
Second?
Second.
Second. Discussion.
I just have a question. Mr. Taylor, do you know what that easement/road agreement is, exception number 5?
No, except it was pre-existing, and I saw that. I can find out exactly, where it is, but the plat, of course, it was subject also to the Georgia Power agreement or easement. But if you look back on the policy, the plat, the only thing I can figure is that easement comes off the road and kind of looks like it comes back, and it says drainage easement, and that's the only thing I can figure.
John, representative of New Mix is here. He can probably answer those questions. Jeff Keith. You waited on your question.
That's right.
I believe the answer to that question, there was an agreement with the Waddells and the Bowers to supply the Bowers property access through what is going to be developed for Steel Creek. And I believe
if Bowers constructs a subdivision on adjoining property, then there's some right to access.
Yes.
Okay,
The Waddell's are obligated to give him access.
great. That makes sense.
Okay. Does that answer your question?
It does.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Next one is Georgia Park Transportation MOU.
Yes, sir. Before you is an MOU that the DOT, and I think we just mentioned this a little bit earlier, the DOT has sent to you the increase of the price from 178.5 to 188,000 even. And this was regarding, the MOU was for the acquisition of the right-of-way for standing board bridge replacement. I don't know what ran the cost up, but they're up. And the DOT is going to be handling the right-of-way. What they initially had done is sent down, I think Nancy, when Nancy and I talked about it, they just sent down and just said, well, just swap these pages out. And we felt like that's not the proper thing to do. So what the recommendation is that you approve this contract and then revoke the earlier contract that you had on May, entered into, or adopted on May the 16th, 2017.
Praise it, we don't get another.
And pray you don't get another.
Yeah, if you notice, 2014, it was at 53,000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least we understand some of what that means.
This doesn't have to be completed in what, 2019, is it? And it's supposed to be completed in 2019,
Yes, ma'am.
I think.
A little less time to change their minds again.
Should there be two motions, John, one on this one,
No, I
and
think
one
you
reject, or
did.
just do it in one?
One motion to
Okay.
revoke the one for earlier from May of this year, April, and May 16th, and then revoke it, and then adopt this replacement contract in the amount of $188,000.
All right. Okay, thank you, sir. Commissioner Langston and I have agreed, since we split that road, and so I will make the motion to approve this new contract and to reject the contract of the old one from May 16, 2017.
And I will second that.
Discussion?
And we are getting lap certified, our employees.
Mike Brown's in the process of doing that.
Would you let us know when he is, just so we think about it?
It's a long process.
Oh, is it?
It's several, it's 3 and 4 5-hour meetings, 5 different ones, 2 different days. So it's working, they did as fast as they can.
Okay.
We did.
Any other discussion? All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Anything else, Mr. Taylor?
No, sir, but I understand there's a need to go into executive session for the acquisition of real property and then also for litigation.
Okay, I'll make a motion to go into executive session. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?